All right, here we are. Today is May 5th. Happy Cinco de Mayo. And it is day 51 of these crazy markets. So, what is happening today? Over the past few days, the markets have been dropping. Are we seeing a bounce today? We'll take a look at this. We'll also see what is happening to my Hertz trade. As you know, right now I'm on a rescue mission for a trade that got in trouble. So we'll take a look at this. And based on this, somebody asked me, okay, I have a trade that is in trouble too. Could you please take a look at this? So we'll surely do that. Also, if you want, I'll show you the trades that I'm currently in. So I did enter a new trade today, and also right now this trade is slightly going against me. Nothing too concerning, but let me know if this is interesting to you, if you would like to see my trades. If so, give me a quick thumbs up or like, and then I will show you exactly what I'm doing. So, if the sound and the video is good, let's get started and let's jump to the charts right away and see what is going on. So, right now, the Dow is up 1% approximately. It was much higher, but then it slammed into the resistance. And this is the resistance line that we have had on the chart for what? 2 weeks probably? So, this is what happened here today. So, we slammed into this one. So, we're still slightly up, but today, a completely different story from yesterday. Let's take a look at the 5-minute chart. So if you remember yesterday, we were rallying into the close, and today it seems that here's where we have the Dow. We open higher, have been trading at this, and right now going into the close, we are trading at session lows. Well, so first of all, let's take a look. Why are we rallying today, and why are we now dropping going into the close? Well, the reason why we're rallying today, traders by default are optimists. And if you take a look at the charts again, over the past few days, there were growing concerns about tensions with China, and we were moving down for 3 days in a row. And you see, this is very, very rare that you see a market moving down for several days in a row. At some point, some buyers are stepping in. At some point, there's some optimism, and this is what we are seeing today. So as an example, today, Starbucks announced that they are opening 85% of the stores. Apple announced that they will hold their the developers conference virtually, but at least we see that the economy is really reopening. And this were also, if you take a look at Starbucks today, Starbucks up, I think it was 3.5%. Last time I checked, let's see where they are right now. Pulled back a little bit. As you can see, earlier this morning, they gapped open here, but right now slightly pulling back. But all of this is good news. Now, one other thing that happened here today that is good news in the market is crude oil. Crude oil is up another 20% today. So why is that? Well, as you know, crude oil slumped. So crude oil was actually tanking. Let's actually go back to the chart. As you can see, first of all, amid the virus, that obviously has had little demand. Then we had this war between Russia and Saudi Arabia, and the oil production cuts were supposed to get in effect on May 1st. And this is what we have right now. Today we are on May 5th. That's where we are. And oil prices are going up because right now demand is coming back. Production lines are opening again, especially in China. And China, as you know, it is the manufacturing powerhouse of the world, and therefore they need a lot of energy for this. So this is what's going on in the markets. Now, a few notable stocks today, some of them we'll talk about. So the big movers and shakers today, NCLH down big, 22%. So we will take a look at NCLH here in just a moment, because this is one of the trades that I did today. PTLA, is this Peloton? No, this is a pharmaceutical company, so we don't care about them. Carnival Cruise Lines down 9%. Really surprising, because earlier they were up. They announced that they will resume cruises on August 1st. So they were doing good, but right now they're being dragged down. Airlines still going down. American Airlines slightly down. Hertz still down. So as you know, it's one of the trades that I'm in. So we'll take a look at that. Delta Airlines down. We also have, where are we? United Airlines, here we go, slightly down. So as you can see, pretty much mixed bag today. And the Dow overall, if you take another look at this, right now, puking into the close. So as you can see right now, there's lots of selling pressure going on, and we have another 25 minutes of trading. All right. So is this helpful thus far, just so that you know what is going on in the market and why this is going on? Because then next up, I want to talk about the Hertz trade that I'm in right now, and we can also talk about the other trades. And then, as said, somebody asked me, hey, I am stuck in a trade. Can I do something similar that you did yesterday? And if so, how do I do this? So we will talk about this. Just want to bring up my handy dandy notebook here as we look at the trades. So let's actually bring up the account. So let's bring up the account, and let's first of all focus on the Hertz trade, and then we can talk about the other trades. So the Hertz trade, here is what I did. Let me quickly remind you of what happened yesterday. So I did, as you can see here, let me just go in there. I did sell a 350 put, and this got in trouble because right now Hertz is trading below $3.50. So what I did yesterday is I rolled this position. So I bought back the $350 put, and as you can see, by doing so, I realized a $2,375 loss. This is what you see here under number 2. But then to cover the loss, immediately I sold the 2 put, and I received $3,300 in premium. Nonetheless, yesterday, I realized a loss of $2,375. Now, here is the good news. The good news is that right now, this trade that we entered yesterday is already up $2,216. So out of the $2,300 that I lost, thus far, I've recouped almost everything. Now, if you recall, the plan was here to actually make some money on the trade. So if they expire worthless, it would be $3,300 that I'm making here. Might get out earlier. You don't want to be too greedy, especially when it comes to the market. But keep in mind, this was a losing trade that looked not too good. So this is why I did this yesterday. And I wanted to follow up in what I did yesterday so that you know, here is what's happening. And of course, I will keep you posted over the next few days so that you know exactly what's happening. Hey, by the way, talking about this, if this is your first time here and you would like to see what is happening with these trades that I'm having on right now, click on subscribe. Somewhere here underneath the video, there's a subscribe button, and hit the little notification bell, because this way you get notified whenever I go live or when I release a new video, and you can follow along how these trades are doing. So the Hertz trade obviously doing really, really well thus far. Now, SPC is another trade that I had on. SPC, I already told you, I wanted to close this trade today for a very simple reason. They are reporting earnings after the bell. But here's what happened. This morning, it hit my profit target, and I got taken out of SPC. As you can see, realized $1,000 in profits, maybe a little bit more. So this is money that is in my account right now, and nobody can take this away from me. So this account right now, still at 36,400, but as you can see, there are quite a few open trades with unrealized profits of an additional $1,500. So I'm almost certain that by the end of the week, I will be able to get this account up to 37,500, maybe even 38,000. So this is a trade that I closed today. So we're out of this. We had a profit target. I hit my profit target, so we're good there. MYOK is a trade that is doing YOK. It is doing okay. So it is slightly up today. I think yesterday it was down a little bit, so we're doing good. American Airlines, another trade that I have on here. So American Airlines sold the 8 put, so I'm collecting premium. That is the strategy that I'm doing right now. I am selling puts, and therefore I'm collecting premium. So I expect these stocks to stay above a certain level. If this is your first time here and you're wondering what the heck is going on and what does he mean, I did a class for you. It's called Options 101. It's a free class, maybe around 45 minutes. And some of my team members will post that is linked in the description right here, or maybe right there in the chat somewhere. So if you want to watch this. Anyhow, when you apply a strategy of selling puts, you want a stock to stay above a certain price. So let's take a look at the American Airlines trade right now that we have on here. So American Airlines, here's what I'm looking at. American Airlines, I want American Airlines to stay above $8. Right now trading at $9.53, so don't like that too much. I wish that American Airlines would pop back up here into the $11 to $13 range where it has been trading for most of the time here. But even now, you see, that's a beautiful thing. Even though right now it is going down, still for today, I'm up $260 here on American Airlines. Is this helpful? Okay, good. So let's talk about the final trade here, NCLH. And then I said I want to talk about another rescue trade that one of you asked if I can give you my opinion, and I'll be happy to. So, yeah, but before we do this, let me just know, thus far, is this helpful at all, that you see my account, that you see what I'm doing here, that I see when I'm closing out trades, when I'm entering trades, how I'm rolling trades? If this is helpful, do me a favor, click on like really quick. I really appreciate this, because this way I know which content you really like, and I promise that I'll make more of the content that you like and less of the content that you don't like. Hey, speaking of which, we got an email today that I really want to show for a moment. It's from David. So David Ehrman sold the May 15 10 put on CVM when it was trading at $15 per share for a 55 premium. Sold 70 contracts for over $400 a day in premium. Exit strategy $3,700. So it would be $2,800 profit in a week. Pretty sweet. David, I love it. So here's why I brought this up here. I love it when you use the content here and then use it to make money, right? I mean, obviously when trading, there's no guarantees whatsoever. Now, David is an experienced trader. I'm an experienced trader. David's results are not typical at all, right? And I'm not saying, oh, you know what? When you do what I do, you will make money. No, I mean, there's a lot of things that you can mess up. And today we'll talk about a trade that one of you said is in and has messed up. And I'll see how we can rescue the trade, if at all. It's not always possible. But you see, David also said, you know what, with this little pieces of information here, I was already able to make some money. So he decided to join our mastermind today. So happy about this. So David, I already heard about this. If you're watching this, so excited to start working with you. That's where we work, in a smaller group of traders where Mark and I work with you personally. Anyhow, just wanted to share this because it is so cool, and I'm really excited for you, David. And I saw that earlier. I think Mani also had some successes here. I'll look at it in a moment. But you see, this is where I want to talk about the NCLH trade. So Zia says NCLH is considering bankruptcy. So why did you trade it? Zia, that is not correct. They are not considering bankruptcy at all. Not at all. So let's talk about NCLH and why I entered this trade and why I actually do like the trade, even though right now it is down $500, $600. But again, keep in mind that this account that I'm trading here is $36,000. So this is really not a big deal. Okay, so let's take a look at NCLH and why I traded this. So let's bring it up. NCLH. I've been trading NCLH in the past and really liked it. Here's why. NCLH was a stock that has been trading around 50 to 55. Then we had this virus going on, and as you can see, they plummeted down. They found a bottom here, and this is when, again, they popped back up. This is what has been happening over the past few months. Then there were some bad news. They were going down. They popped back up. We're going up, and now today they're down 23%. So what is happening here? Why did they drop so much, and why do I still believe that this is a really good trade? So first of all, today, the news broke. Two news. First of all, Carnival Cruise Line said we are going to resume our operations on August 1st. Now, we don't know how many people will go on a cruise, but I do believe that this will definitely help them to make some money, to bring in some revenues again. The other two cruise lines, Royal Caribbean and Norwegian Cruise Lines, have not yet announced it, but they're expected to make a similar statement over the next few days. But back to where Zia said, don't they file for bankruptcy? Not at all. So here is what happened today. This is a report from Bloomberg. So Norwegian Cruise Lines is pledging ships and 2 islands as part of a plan to raise as much as $2 billion to survive the travel industry shutdown. So they are actually raising money. And they say exactly here is how we are planning to do it. So they are selling $600 million of junk bonds. They are raising another $650 million in exchange of exchangeable notes, and a public offering of 350 million ordinary shares, the regular shares that you and I can buy, and a 400 million investment by an affiliate of a private equity firm, Heitkoetter, no idea. So you see, here's the deal. This has nothing to do with bankruptcy. All this means right now is, yes, we do need money, and here we have a plan. Here is how we are getting $2 billion. Doing this, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Okay, so this is a very concrete plan. Now, what we're wondering, if they put such a concrete plan in motion, why at this point are shares plummeting? Very, very easy. And this is why I liked where I bought it this morning. Didn't expect to go much further down. But so here's what exactly happened. So let's take a look at then we need our handy dandy notebook to do some math, because you already know this. Money is math. Sorry, the good news is that the math that we are doing here is just very simple math. It is math that you can do on your iPhone here, so no big deal. But let's take a look at NCLH. And here's what I want to look at. I want to look at their financials. And looking at their financials, here is what I see. The market capitalization right now is $2.381 billion. So this is the first thing that we want to write down. So bring over here my handy dandy notebook, and we're talking about the NCLH trade. Okay. So the current market cap is let's say around $2,400 million. Okay, so $2.4 billion, 1 billion is 1,000 million. So $2.4 million. Now, what did they just say? What do they want to do? They want to actually raise another $350,000 through ordinary shares. The same shares that they have here right now being traded. So new shares will be $350 million. That's what they announced, right? You're with me thus far? Does this make sense? If so, give me a thumbs up. So in percent, how much is this in percent? Let me just do this here really quick on the handy dandy notebook. So we need to do some basic math, and we take 350 divided by 2,400. So this means this is here exactly 14.58%. So this is what they're bringing on. This is how many more shares they're dumping into the market. What does this mean? Well, it means that now, obviously, if the price yesterday was trading at a certain level, that right now this price needs to go down by at least 14.58%. This is how it works. Okay, so let's jump onto the charts here right now, and let's take a look at NCLH of where they closed yesterday. And yesterday's closing price, let me see, it's a bit hard to see. It was at $14.44. I'm going to write this down here in my handy dandy notebook pad. So yesterday they were trading at $14.44. So now, today, obviously, what needs to happen, when they announced it, the share price has to drop. By how much? Well, you guessed it. By 14.458%. So let's do a quick calculation here. So if I take 14.44 and times 0. Around, let's just say 85. So this means that today the price should have dropped to $12.27. Okay, so this is what it should have dropped. Now let's see where they are trading right now. So right now, as you can see, they are trading at $11.18. So what happened? So why are they trading much lower than they should? First of all, a 14.5% drop would have been absolutely normal. However, this is where, Zia, I'm just bringing this up because you mentioned it, right? They are about to declare bankruptcy. This is where many traders misunderstand of what is actually happening. And this is why today, when some traders saw NCLH dropping by 14.5%, which they had to, there's no other way. This is when there was some additional selling kicking in. Now, I want to show you what happened here this morning. So let's take a look at this here exactly. And let's take a look at a 5-minute chart. So as you can see here this morning, they opened at 1310. So a little bit below our, no, actually, what did we just say? We just said that the $12.27, I'm looking at my handy dandy notepad here. So right around here, approximately. Okay. This is where they should have been trading. This is what happened this morning. They traded right there where they should have been trading for the first few minutes. And then probably Zia and a few others thought, they're in trouble. And then there was some panic selling coming in. And then it bounced right back because everybody realized, oh, that's what they're doing. They're raising more money. I got it. Okay. And they have been trading around this price here for most of the day, as you can see. So this is why I still like this trade and why I do believe that they might bounce back. So that's what I see here on the chart. Now, if they do go down to $8, am I okay owning this stock? Absolutely. But right now, so you see, they did a few things that I think are really important. 3 things that make me believe that NCLH is a really good investment. Number one of their competitors already said, we are resuming normal operations August 1st. So pretty sure that they will do the same fairly quickly. Number 2, they are restructuring debt. They know that they need money. And last month they said, oh, we have money for the next 6 to 8 months. But they are being proactive right now. That's good, right? So they don't wait until bankruptcy. Number 3, today they furloughed 20% of their shore staff. So, of course, it's always horrible when companies lay off people. And for NCLH, that means that right now they're decreasing their monthly cost. Is this making sense? So this is why I still like the NCLH trade. And let me just go here to the calculator. When I plopped it into the put options calculator, it seemed that I can get $140 a day by doing this. And my goal is $108 per day per position. By the way, we'll talk about Theta here in just a moment, but I don't want to overwhelm you. So right now, is this making sense? So Zia and everybody else who is wondering about, are they going bankrupt? No, not at all. Okay? So hope that helps. This is why I wanted to share why I like NCLH here as a trade and why I'm okay having it in the portfolio, even though right now it is going slightly against me. I've seen it down $500, $600. Really not a big deal. I'm getting more concerned when a trade is going $2,000 against me. That's when I'm looking for rescue missions. Okay. So Joe is asking an excellent question. So Joe said, should we be worried about the substantial doubt they mentioned about their future? Joe, I'm so glad that you're bringing it up. So let me find this this article here where it talked about the substantial doubt. So let me, and there's a reason why they did this. So I just want to find the article. Okay, let me see here. Let me quickly jump over here. Okay, so that is not it. Okay, so let me just explain to you what happened. So come back to you here for a second on the full screen. Hello. Why can't I come back to you on the full screen? There we go. Okay, all right. In order to do the restructuring, Joe and everybody else, in order to do what they did today, they needed to file this with the SEC. I mean, no company that is publicly traded can just say, oh, you know what? We just issue a few more shares. So there's the Securities and Exchange Commission, the so-called SEC, and they had to tell them, listen, here is what we are trying to do. And the SEC is always demanding a reason and say, wait a minute, why is this? And that is why yesterday they informed the SEC and say, listen, if we don't do anything, we have substantial doubt that we can be there in the future. We have to do something, and we have this 5-step plan. So this is part of the process. So it's really super important that you understand what is going on there, because if you're taking these bits and pieces out of context, like Zia mentioned earlier and Joe, and really I'm just mentioning it to you because thank you for mentioning it here. Many others have probably seen it, but here let me help you to piece the puzzle together so that you know what happens. If they would not have said it, the SEC would have probably said, no, you cannot from one day to another raise another $2 billion. But by doing this is where they got the approval and the stamp and said, okay, good, let's do this. All right. Glad that we could clear this up. Joe, is this making sense? Joe, does this help? And Zia, does this help? Because you have to ask a little bit earlier. Good. So Edward is saying, I read Hertz is doing something similar about sending a restructuring coordinator. Yes, but you see, for Hertz, it wasn't as planned. For Hertz, it was like, oh, shoot, we missed a payment. So NCLH, Norwegian Cruise Lines, has not missed any payments to my best knowledge. Okay? Good. All right. Fantastic. So Vivette is asking, at what price did you get into an NCLH? And then I'm also going to show you about this other rescue mission trade that I mentioned. Let me just quickly bring it up here so that you can see it. I got in at 30 cents. NCLH right here, the average price, 29.2, but it's actually 30 cents. There's some fees being taken out of this, not quite sure. So it was 30 cents. And right now, yeah, down $500. Not too concerned about this. Okay, so let's talk about a trade where I received a question and somebody said, hey, can you help me with this one? And this trade is Chesapeake, CHK. So here's what happened. Let me just show you. Here's what happened. Not my trade. Again, this is for, can't remember your name, sorry. If you're listening, you probably know that I'm talking about, you and the email that you send us. So this is where some people during the Theta class and also here in the Coffee with Markus asked me about Chesapeake. And I said, guys, stay away from Chesapeake. And here's why. I do not like stocks that have been going down for years. Look at this. Since 2014, Chesapeake has been going down, 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 down. They have been clearly in a downtrend. Let me show you some other stocks that are in a downtrend like this. Macy's, not a good one. Have been in a downtrend for a long, long time, as you can see here, since 2015. Not a good one. Here's what I'm looking for. NCLH. NCLH, I want to look for trades that have been doing really well, but then recently took a dive, found a bottom, and where I say, you know what, I would be okay owning it like this. Because look at this. NCLH has not been trading any lower than 25 since they started trading, which was in 2013. So really solid stock, just recently got hit by the virus. And that's what I'm looking for. Trades that made a bottom. However, let me talk about this trade and what happened here to a trader. So he did not see this, and can happen. Mistakes happen, right? So let me write down what exactly happened here. So I took some notes. When it was trading, CHK, when it was trading at 29, so let's say at 30, at 29.61, he sold 5 options with a strike of 15, strike of 15 for $1. So that is per se not a bad trade, because you see, when CHK is trading at 30 right here, and you're selling a strike of 15, you have like 50% that this stock can go down. But as you can see, they are down, and they were rumors about bankruptcy. So anyhow, that's where we are right now. So that's what this trader did, sold it for 2, and he was wondering, can I do a rolling like I did with Hertz? And no, you can't. And here's why. Let me show you. Let's actually go to the option trader, and let's do some basic math here. Let's take a look at the CHK, where it's trading right now. So May 15, that is the one. You sold the 15 put. No, that's Hertz. Gosh darn it. Okay. I said, that does not make sense at all. Sold the 15 put for $1, and right now you would have to buy it back at what? $3.50 probably. So this means that you're making a loss of $2.50. Now, in order to make up the loss of $2.50, you would have to roll down to, let's say, a strike of 10. But look at this. You would have to sell so many of the options, right? That this does not make sense. You would increase your risk dramatically. Let me do some basic math for you. So I want to bring up my handy dandy notebook here and talk about, is it possible for CHK to fly a rescue mission? Okay, that is our question. So right now you have 5 options. 5 at $15. This means that at some point you might have to buy 500 shares at $15. So 500 times 15 means, what is that? 500 times 15, $7,500. If at some point Chesapeake goes to zero, you would have lost $7,500. Right now, this is worst case scenario, right? So right now, let's just bring this up here. Right now, the loss is $2.50 per option. Okay, so you have 5 options, so that's $250. So you're losing, the total loss that you have right now is 5 times 250 is 1,250. If you wanted to close out this trade and then sell more puts, and you're looking at a 10 strike price, where right now you might be able to get $1.50. You would have to buy 10 options. So now you have 10 options, okay, at $10. So this means that now your maximum loss increased to $10,000. And that's bad. You don't want to dramatically increase your loss. So as you can see, sometimes it does make sense to fly a rescue mission. For this particular trade, it does not, right? So is this making sense? So here, so what can you do? That's the key question, right? So what can you do? Knowing that right now you're losing around $250 per option. I'm gonna come back here to this and show you the 3 possibilities, because see, I hope that you find this interesting, because this is where what happens when you find yourself in a losing trade and what happens when you made a mistake, right? Is this helpful? I mean, you let me know if this is helpful at all, that I lay out the options here right now. And again, as you know, I'm not a financial advisor, nor do I want to ever be a financial advisor. So I'm giving you options and then you choose what makes the most sense for you. So here is the 3 options. 3 options. Number 1, Okay, close the trade now for a loss of around $250 per option, which means $1,250 total loss. Ouch. Not really nice, right? Number two, hold on to it and pray. I really pray that CHK stays above 15 before May 15. And honestly, this does not look good. So it could get worse. Number three, close 2 out of the 5 positions, 2 or 3, it doesn't matter, a part of the 5 positions for a loss of 500 and then pray for the rest. So this here is a difficult trade because here, unfortunately, let me just see if I can move this over here. Almost. If I move this away, then we can read it a little bit better. So this is where, please, you will, there's no way that you can turn, let me move this around a little bit, sorry about that. I do not see a possibility. I do not see a possibility how you could possibly turn this losing trade into a winning trade. So you will have a loss. And the question now is, do you want to pull the plug today, which could be the worst day where you pull the plug for a $1,250 loss? Do you want to hold it maybe for a few more days and see if you can lessen the loss to maybe $1,000? Because what you're looking for is that Chesapeake moves a little bit higher. But honestly, Chesapeake's future doesn't look too bright. So it could get worse. But hey, I don't know what the market will do. It might be that it has found some support. So another option is that you close out 2 or 3 out of the 5 positions for a loss of $500 or $750. Pray for the rest. That Chesapeake stays above 15. I do believe it is very, very possible. There's a very high likelihood that Chesapeake will go below 15 over the next few days. It's a risky trade. I know that you have another 10 days, but you might consider over the next few days, consider closing it. Is this making sense? Is this helpful? I mean, for you, if you're in the trade, and for everybody else, that you get an idea of what's happening and how to handle it. Okay. And Mike is asking, could he not roll out in time? I don't see enough premium. See, it was different with Hertz, and the challenge is, Mike, when you start rolling, you have to increase the number of contracts. So for me personally, it was from 25 contracts to 55 contracts. But I have enough money in the account. Now, I could do it because I decreased it to 2, and that's pretty much the end of the line. Here, if he goes from 15 to 10, and then he has to go from 10 to 8 or to 5 or to 2, at some point, he'll run out of money. So this is why I don't think that it is a good idea. Okay, good. So let's see. I know that there's a few more questions that I want to answer here. I know that today we covered a lot, but I thought this is all kind of interconnected here. I mean, would you agree? The Hertz trade, the NCLH trade, the Chesapeake trade. I mean, they're all pretty much grouped in. This is why I know it was a lot today, and right now your head might be spinning. The good news is this video here will live on YouTube forever. And you can watch it again if you want to and say, what happened there? And I'll also probably ask Asia to cut it into smaller pieces to make it easier and more digestible. Okay. So, yeah, somebody, Marina is asking, what about NCLH earnings? So here's the deal. Right now, the problem is that companies are pushing earnings around. I'm going to go back here really quickly to NCLH. Now, before I do this, I noticed one thing right now. I noticed that usually at around this time, after 40 minutes, there's more than 100 likes. And right now there's 86. And hey, here's the deal. I'm not asking you to hit like if you don't like it. I'm using the likes just as a gauge of what content you like best. So if today's content, if you really liked it, only if you really liked it, then click like. Because this way I see which of the videos are most popular. And this is my promise to you. I'll do more of the videos that you really, really like. So don't hit like just because I say so. If you didn't like it today, if this was too technical, if this was too advanced or whatever, then don't hit like. But if you say this was really good and we hit the 110, 120 likes that we should have at this point, I'll do more videos like this. Okay, but let's go back to NCLH. So here's one of the challenges. I think Monica asked, what about earnings? Supposedly, they are doing earnings today, but right now, because of the crisis that we have going on, companies are pushing their earnings around. And it seems that TradingView here is not updating it as frequently as they should. I have another website that I like to check it. It is stockearnings.com. I like their website. I do have a subscription, but for free, you can check NCLH. And what Stock Earnings does is that they actually confirm the dates. And as you can see here, Monica and everybody else who was concerned about it, they confirmed the earnings date and time. It is on Thursday, May 14th. And it seems that TradingView hasn't updated the earnings just yet. They might do it tomorrow. Who knows, right? So don't know what data they are using. I found stockearnings.com very reliable for data. So this is why I bought a subscription. It was like $600 a year. You don't need that subscription. You don't need it. You can do it if you just go there for free to confirm the earnings. Okay, but great question. So Marina, sorry, not Monica, Marina. Jeez. Okay, but I hope that this helps. Brian Walzer has the same question. Yep. So Bruce, Brian, Marina, same here. TradingView said it, but this is why I double check it on stockearnings.com. Okay. So yes, I did get in at 30 cents. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. So let's see. Joe's asking, I had a stake in Lucking Coffee. In your opinion, will they bounce back? Joe, this might be a tough one because you see, they admitted to fraud. I mean, who will ever give them money again? I would look at the chart and trade what you see, not what you think, right? We can take a look at it right now. Want to take a quick look at it together? So let's take a look at Lucking Coffee. Can't remember what their symbol is. LK, there we go. Sorry, this is dark red. I mean, look at this. They have been dark in the red since March 10th. I mean, since March 10th, the indicator said it's more likely for them to go down. I mean, right now, they might have found a bottom. I don't know if they're talking about bankruptcy, but I think they got caught by fabricating sales that they didn't have, right? So that's not good. I guess that's not good at all. Okay. Let's see. Is BYND a good trade? Let's take a look at this real quick. Why not? So BNYD, again, I like to trade what I see, not what I think. That's why I like to use my indicators. And when I take a look at the indicators for BYND, let's see what BNYD does. Well, right now, it seems that it's more likely for the stock to go up. However, I believe that most of this run has already happened. So this year, the indicators clearly said on April 8th that this is a buy. And if you would have bought it at $71 and got it all the way up to 110, you're looking at a 50% gain. So here, as soon as stochastics dips below 50, which could be within a day or two, you will have black bars, and then it means that it is more likely to go sideways. So honestly, I think this is where you missed the move. Right now, it could go higher, but I would wait to see what happens here. The MACD is getting really close to its signal line. The stochastic is at 53. So one down day and the bars will be black, and this is when it is more likely to go sideways. Okay. So did you enjoy today's session? And I see that many likes came in, so thank you. This will help me to find the great content for you and continue doing this. I hope that you had as much fun during today's Coffee with Markus, as I had doing it for you. I said, feel free to share these videos. Feel free to invite people to join us here live. I see we have a little bit over 400 people on here, so I try to answer as many questions as I possibly can. Leave a comment below if you have a question that didn't get answered, because Christy and I are looking through all of the comments and we try to answer as many questions as possible. Right now, after this Coffee with Markus, I know that there's 10 questions that are queued up for me that Christy has said, hey, I need your help, so I'll answer those definitely. So if you have asked a question on one of the previous videos, and it has to be a question below, because somehow these live comments right now, if you have asked a question right now that did not get answered, it might disappear. So wait a little bit until we closed it and then post the question again so that I can answer them. Maybe, right? And please don't ask me for individual advice. I'm not a licensed advisor and I never want to be. That sounds like a job. I don't want to do this. I can show you what I would do if I were in your situation, and you do whatever you feel is right for you. Okay, have a great rest of the day. I'll see you again tomorrow afternoon at 3:30 Eastern Time, 30 minutes before the markets close. And yes, the Dow was actually puking into the close. Let's take a look at this. So we did, going into the close, actually move much lower, as you can see here. That was the puke into the close. Anyhow, we still finished the day positive, so let's see what the markets are doing tomorrow, and I have more exciting topics for you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and maybe stay at home for a little bit more. That's what I do. I think it's the responsible thing to do. Take care.